It's tiny, cheap, underpowered, but saves Honda's life. Okay, let's go back to the 1972. Generation 1, 1972 to 1979. The car that saved Honda. The early 70s weren't great for Honda. Their first attempts at cars, the N360 and 15,000 flopped. The company was still known mainly for motorcycles, but the Civic, that changed everything. So Soichiro Honda, the founder, had a vision: make a car that's compact, reliable, fun, and affordable. The result? A 1.1-liter front-wheel drive hatchback with a clean and minimal design. It was built simple, steel wheels, chrome bumpers, and barely enough power to outrun a bicycle. But in 1973, the oil crisis hit, gas prices skyrocketed, and suddenly, Americans needed fuel efficiency. Detroit was making V8 gasolines, but Honda, they had a Civic, sipping fuel like a gentleman. The first generation Honda Civic came with either a 1.1-liter or 1.2-liter inline-4 engine, producing around 50 horsepower. It was paired with a 4-speed manual transmission and later even offered a 2-speed automatic. Yes, just 2 speeds. The Civic used front-wheel drive, which was quite rare for cars of that era. And perhaps most impressively, it weighs only about 1,500 pounds, making it incredibly light and nimble. This is where Honda flexed. Instead of using catalytics to meet the new United States emission laws, they invented something called CVCC, which in full compound vortex control combustion. Translation: cleaner emissions without expensive tech and better fuel economy. The Civic passed United States emission tests with flying colors, while American cars were struggling. The Civic's design was minimal and clean. Its shape wasn't flashy, it was purely functional. It was also one of the first Japanese car style with international markets in mind, not just for Japan. Honda's engineers knew if they could win over the United States, they survived. Spoiler alert, they didn't just survive, they dominated. In Japan, it sold well. In Europe, even better. But in America, it was a revelation. Gas was expensive, big American cars felt outdated. The Civic felt like the future, compact, reliable, cheap to run. By 1976, it became one of the top-selling imports in the United States. If you talk about Civic in pop culture, early years, Civic became the go-to car for college kids and first-time buyers. Known for simplicity and fuel economy, some crazy people even raced them. No turbo, no VTEC, no frame. Just a little car that gave fingers to the fuel prices and proved that the Japanese could build world-class cars. This wasn't the Civic we fell in love with, but it's the one that started the legend. Generation 2, 1980 to 1983. The Civic gets serious. So Gen 1 is actually the underdog that gave Honda famous. But now in 1980, disco is dying. The car is evolving. But what about Honda? They're not trying to survive anymore. They are trying to compete. This is Generation 2 when the Civic grow up. In 1980, Honda dropped the second generation Civic, and it was a big step forward. The body was sharper, longer, and more mature. Gone were the cute curves of the 70s. The Civic had angles, lines, confidence. The lead designer for this generation was Toshi Oshika. He wanted the Civic to evolve with the times, cleaner surfaces, more visibility, and improved aerodynamics. It was still a small car, but now it felt grown up. Honda extended the wheelbase by about 5 inches, giving passengers more legroom and ride stability. The idea? make a car that feels like a small Accord but kept the Civic's personality. The second generation Civic came with a choice of 1.3 liter or 1.5 liter inline-4 engines, delivering between 55 to 67 horsepower depending on the trim. It still used Honda's clever CVCC technology, keeping it impressively fuel efficient for the time. Transmission options included a 4-speed and 5-speed manual, along with the quirky 2-speed Honda-matic. Yup, still just 2 gears, but smooth like molasses. The suspension setup featured independent MacPherson struts in the front and semi-independent rear, offering of softer ride and better handling over bumps compared to the first gen. And even with all the upgrades, it stayed light at around 1,800 pounds. Honda balanced lightness with better comfort and didn't ruin the car's fuel economy. The Civic came in more flavors than ever before: 2-door hatchback, 4-door sedan, 5-door wagon. And here's where it gets interesting. Honda also created a totally new car of the Civic platform, the Honda Ballet, which later became the first Acura Integra based in the 80s. When it launched in America, it was an instant upgrade. People praised the better ride comfort, roomier interior, more practical layout, and still 30 plus mpg. In Europe and Asia, it was seen as a smart, modern family car. In the United States, it became a go-to for college grades, new families, and even a few hip uncles who wanted something cooler than a Buick. This wasn't hit the tuner yet, but the Civic laid the foundation. The engine bay was simple and accessible, and early gearheads started learning how to swap carbs, fiddle with the suspension, and yes, put air horns on the roof. In the early 80s, this Civic went head-to-head with Toyota Corolla, VW Rabbit aka Golf Mark 1, Datsun 210, and it won in reliability, fuel economy, and resale value. This generation is when Honda really started to build that bulletproof reputation. This Civic wasn't flashy, but it proved that Honda wasn't just lucky with Gen 1. They could evolve, design smarter, engineer better, and still make a car that everyday people could love. It wasn't a street racer yet, but you know what it was? Unstoppable. Generation 3, 1984 to 1987. The Civic gets sporty. Welcome to the 80s brothers, with here, synth music, cassette tape, and Honda dropping beat. This right here is when the Civic officially said, "I don't just sip fuel, I eat corners." Say hello to Generation 3, the Civic that started getting fast and furious before it was even cool. The third gen Civic landed in 1984, and wow, it was all new. The design? Clean, low, boxy, in the best way possible. The engineering, lighter, sharper, and smarter. And the biggest upgrade, this is the birth of the Civic SI. Honda's design team, led by Masao Kimura, was given one mission: make it drive like a sports car, but still fit for people and get certified MPG. So what did they do? Lower the body, shorten the front and rear overhangs, added multi-link rear suspension, and select models. Sharpen the styling with straight lines, Y-class era, and modern interior, and they made a coupe so compact. It gave birth to a legend, the Honda COX, a Civic with fewer seats, less weight, and more attitude. The third generation Civic came with a variety of engine options, including 1.3 liter and 1.5 liter carbureted inline-4s. For those wanting more punch, the Civic SI featured a 1.5 liter fuel-injected engine. And if you were lucky enough to live in Japan, the JDM models even come with the DOHCCZ engine. Now that brought some real performance to the table. Horsepower range from 58 to 76 horsepower in the base models, while the US spec Civic SI cranked out around 91 horsepower. In some markets, the COX SI pushed it further with up to 100 horsepower, not bad for such lightweight machine. Transmission choices included a 4-speed manual, a 5-speed manual, and a 3-speed automatic, also known as the slow lane. As for weight, the Sporty CX came in just under 2,000 pounds, while the hatchback tipped the scales at around 2,100 pounds, still light and nimble for its time. The power-to-weight ratio chef's kiss for Kanjo brands. So why the Civic SI matter? Honda gave enthusiasts exactly what they've been begging for: fuel injection, a rail-happy engine, tight handling, sporty seats and trim, and a red SI badge that means I'm not your average Civic. It was affordable performance, a car you could daily and destroy at autocross on the weekend. For body style and variant, we have a 3-door hatchback, fan favorite, and we have a 4-door sedan for those families that still wanted to have fun, and we have a COX, a 2-seater Civic coupe that was light, quick, and highly tunable. Even the wagon came with a 4WD. Even the wagon came with a 4-wheel drive in some markets. Yep, a Civic wagon that could go off-road. This generation marked the beginning of the Civic tuning era. Why? Because the engines were simple and swappable, the weight was low, the aftermarket exploded, and people began building budget race cars in their garage. Swap a Japanese ZZ DOXC into a United States Civic, boom! 130 horsepower in a featherweight cell. The third-gen Civic might not have made it into movies yet, but it made it into neighborhood street races. COX guys became legends. Hatchback guys were doing donuts at Taco Bell, and tuners were discovering that VTEC wasn't even here yet, and this car was still fire. This Civic was a real turning point. It wasn't just a cheap transportation anymore. It was a platform, a playground, a problem for cameras. With the third-gen Honda proved you didn't need a V8 to have fun. You just needed a light chassis, a high-revving engine, and a dream. Generation 4, 1988 to 1991. Yeah, aka my birth year. The Civic that tuners worship. Here it gets serious, and the year is 1988, and Honda just dropped a Civic that wasn't just practical anymore. It was legendary. This was the Civic that built a global tuning empire. It was clean, it was lean, and for the first time ever, VTEC just kicked in. Honda released the 4th generation Civic in 1988 with a brand new look, new platform, and completely reworked suspension. The body, sleek, low, and perfectly 90s. The engineering ahead of its time. But most important, this Civic laid the foundation for an entire generation of car culture. The 4th generation Civic was designed by Toshio Yamamoto, who wanted to merge form and function into a single affordable package. Lower hood, smoother aerodynamics, shorter overhangs, a tighter stance. This Civic looked like it meant business even when parked. And yes, the EF hatchback still turns heads today. This gen saw the first ever use of Honda's double wishbone suspension on all 4 corners in a Civic, something you expect on sport car, not economy cars. This meant superior handling, sharper cornering, and a feeling of precision on the road. In the United States and most global markets, the 4th generation Civic offers a solid range of engines, a 1.3-liter SOXC making 70 horsepower for the base model, a 1.5-liter SOXC with 92 horsepower, and a 1.6-liter DOXC pumping out a 105 horsepower in the SI. But then Japan said, "Hold my ramen," they dropped the Civic SI or parking the legendary 1.6-liter DOXC VTEC B16A under the hood. This engine was pure magic. It revved all the way to 8,200 RPM and made 160 horsepower. It didn't just run, it screamed like a motorbike at all throttle. VTEC kicked in and the world got a taste of what Honda engineering could really do. But wait, VTEC just kicked in? No, VTEC just exploded. For the Civic body styles, we have 3-door hatchback, EF, 4-door sedan, a 5-door wagon called the Shuttle, and COX, still based on the Civic but more athletics and lightweight. Each one had its friends, but let's be real, the hatchback was the hero. This generation was the birth of modern Honda tuning culture. Why? Because the EF chassis was lightweight and easy to modify. The B series engine family became the holy grail. The engine bay could fit basically anything. The K swaps, B swaps, even turbos. Parts were cheap and available, and it looked cool as hell when slammed on coilovers. This wasn't just the Civic you loved, this was the Civic you respected. It didn't try to be a supercar, but in the hands of the right builder, it could humble one. The EF Civic didn't just change the game, it started the game. Generation 5, 1992 to 1995. The Civic that took VTEC global. This right here, the Civic your cousin crashed, rebuilt, and raced again. Gen 5 wasn't just a car, it was a lifestyle. From high school parking lots to underground car meets, everybody had a Civic story during the early 90s. And this was the one everyone talking about with VTEC. The 5th generation Civic was a refined evolution of the iconic EF chassis, smoother curves, a more aerodynamic silhouette, and updated suspension geometry that made it even better in corners. Codename EG. But on the streets, it was the VTEC monster in disguise. Honda's design team, led by Yoshio Nakagawa, set out to soften the Civic's edges without compromising its aggressive spirit. This was the era of rounded body lines, flush headlights, the iconic EG hatchback slop, and a clean aesthetic that ached like wine. You wanted a Civic that looked fast standing still? The EG was it. Honda made this car even more modular for global markets, strengthened chassis, better rust protection, smoother ride with improved dampers, yet still under 250 lbp's curb weight. That meant power to waste magic. The best models of the 5th generation Civics came with a 1.3-liter SOAC carbureted engine in some markets like the DX, or a 1.5-liter SOAC non-VTEC engine producing around 92 horsepower. Nothing wild, but reliable as ever. Stepping out a bit, Honda introduced a 1.5-liter SOAC VTEC E, a clever fuel-saving engine designed to sip fuel like a monk at Titan, great for ego-minded drivers but still smooth on the road. But the real legend, the Civic SIR and SIR2, armed with the 1.6-liter DOHC VTEC B16A2. This masterpiece cranked out 170 horsepower, screamed to an 8,200 RPM red line, and could launch from 0 to 60 mph in just 6.7 seconds. And the sound? Pure, soul-ripping VTEC fury. The kind that makes car lovers grin uncontrollably. This Civic didn't just go fast, it sang while doing it. This Civic body style, we have 3-door hatchbacks, EG6, the fan favorite, 4-door sedan, EG8 sleeper spec, a 2-door coupe E8 only in the United States, a 5-door hatchback rear. Wagon? Nope, Honda retired it for this gen. Everyone wanted the EG6 hatch, but the coupe, that thing looked sleek and made for a daily sleeper. This is the Civic that gave us B18 swaps, spoon parts, Mugen dreams, slam stances, and the yo, it's a D series bro, the best. It's the Civic every 90 kids either had or wanted. Why did tuners love it? Easy to swap engines, huge aftermarket, amazing handling, and the VTEC crossover at 5,500 RPM sounded like the gates of heaven opening. In today, the EG6 in good condition is collector gold. Track days, autocross, even hill climbs. The EG Civic dominated every amateur racing scene. Precise handling, very happy with the engines, huge community support, and it felt alive behind the wheel. The Civic didn't just define generations, it created cultures before Fast and Furious, before TikTok. This was just you, your EG Civic, and a red line that didn't quit. That's Gen 5, the Civic that took the streets and never gave them back. Generation 6, 1996 to 2000, the golden era, the EK that became immortal. This was the Civic that everybody wanted after watching Fast and Furious. The Civic that could look innocent but outrun a Mustang if you knew what you were doing. And yes, this was where we got the Type R. The 6th generation Civic debuted in 1995 in Japan and hit other markets by 1996. At first glance, it looked like a softer evolution of the EG. But under the skin, Honda went full mad scientist. This generation was crafted by Honda designer Yoshinori Asahi. With a mission, let's blend form with emotion. The car kept that compact Civic DNA that matured into something cleaner, tighter, more aerodynamic. You got smoother headlight design, better fit and finish, and a sportier stance with subtle aggression. The best models of the 6th generation Civic offer simple but reliable engines, a 1.4-liter or 1.6-liter SOHC non-VTEC, as well as 1.5-liter VTEC E designed for a lean burn efficiency, perfect for ego warriors who still wanted a Honda badge. Moving up, the mid-range trims like the Civic EX or VTI feature a 1.6-liter SOHC VTEC, giving drivers a nice mix of power and everyday usability. But then there was the legendary EK9 Civic Type R 1997 to 2000, the crown jewel of this generation. It came with a 1.6-liter DOHC VTEC B16B engine, pushing 185 horsepower at 8,200 RPM and an 8,500 RPM red line that begged you to floor it. A limited slip differential was standard. The chassis was seam welded for extra rigidity, and inside you got Recaro seats straight from the factory. It weighs just 1,050 kilograms, making it a razor-sharp drag weapon. This was the first Civic Type R ever built in Japan, tuned for the drag, and capable for absolutely embracing more expensive cars. Even Jeremy Clarkson said,
"Its engine spins so fast, it generates its own little gravity field, 8,000 RPM. I'm surprised it doesn't come with its own moon."
For body style, we have a 3-door hatchback EK, most iconic, and a 4-door sedan clean sleeper build. 2-door coupe, United States only, showroom favorite, a 5-door hatch, Europe practical with a punch. Whether it was two Cuba cycled or your local autocross, the EK ripped it apart. Fast turn-in, lightweight balance, rev-happy motor, and a limited slip diff that bit into corners like a mad dog. To this day, EK9 vs DC2 battles are JDM history. The EK Civic wasn't just another economy car. It was the Civic that proved you could go toe-to-toe with anything out there if you had enough RPM. It looked humble, but it drove like a maniac on a mission. That Gen 6, the EK era, and for many of us, the gold. Generation 7, 2000 to 2005, when Civic got soft, but VTEC still screamed. This is the Civic that said, I am mature now, I pay taxes, I have kids, but I'm still relying at 8,000 RPM. Welcome to the Gen 7, where the suspension changed, the looks softened, but VTEC still went yo. Released in late 2000, the 7th Gen Civic was Honda's attempt to modernize the Civic platform. It was bigger, wider, and aimed to be more comfortable and practical than ever before. But under the surface, it still had the heart of a screaming VTEC samurai. Chief designer Yoshio Nagamura wanted to evolve the Civic into a more family-friendly package. The car had taller roof lines, bigger interiors, softer, rounder styling, a new monoform design, less sporty, more friendly. Basically, let's stop scaring grandmas at traffic lights. But here's the twist, this was the first Civic built on the global small car platform. And that changed everything. This generation was a technical turning point. Biggest change, Honda ditched the famous double wishbone suspension in the front and replaced it with MaxPerson straps. Why? More interior space, cheaper to build, easier for grass safety tuning. In Suez's cry, Honda said, deal with it. The 7th generation Civic leaned into practically but still gave buyers a range of solid engine choice. The base model came with a 1.3-liter DSI, an ultra-efficient setup focused on squeezing every last drop of fuel, correct for city driving and budget-minded owner. Other trims offer the 1.7-liter SOHC non-VTEC for the more capable 1.7-liter SOHC VTEC found in models like the Civic EX and VTI, giving you that classic VTEC punch with everyday drivability. In some markets, Honda even stepped it up with a 2.0-liter DOHC VTEC, adding a serious upgrade in torque and refinement. Not the most hardcore Civic, but it held the line, reliable, smooth, and evolving with the times. Euro and Japan hot version. Here comes the EP3 Civic Type-R. The EP3 Civic Type-R 2001 and 2005 was a major step up, a hot hatch with serious bite. Under the hood sat the legendary 2.0-liter DOHC VTEC K28-2 engine, producing a strong 197 horsepower at 7,400 RPM. It came with a 6-speed manual gearbox, a limited slip differential SDI, as standard, and could blast from 0 to 100 km/h in just 6.6 seconds. What made it special? It was built in the UK, fine-tuned for twisty roads, and sold in both Europe and Japan. The EP3 brought sharp handling, serious performance, and that unmistakable VTEC scream, a true driver's Civic. This was the first Civic Type-R not made in Japan, and despite being a bit chunky, it still ripped. The K-series engine introduced here that changed the game forever. This Civic body style we have for the sedan, very popular globally. 3-door hatchback, EP and EM, mostly for Europe and Japan. 5-door hatch Europe, underrated and practical. So we got improved cabin space, better ride quality, digital odometers, CD players with optional navigation system, more airbags and ABS standard in many markets. Still light, still reliable, just more boring for some. So yeah, the 7th Gen might gone grow mad, but it secretly became the birth of K-series era. And that engine, that thing is Civic history's cheat code. Generation 8, 2005 to 2011. The Civic that came from the future. One question, do you ever seen a Civic that was developed and designed by PlayStation developer? This is it, the UFO Civic. The one that made boomers panic and JDM lovers scream. Bro, is this still a Civic? In 2005, Honda flipped the script. While other brands played safe, the Civic went SpaceX. It brought digital dashboards, spacious interiors, and split-level instrument clusters. This was Honda saying, "We're tying our playing sets, let's get weird." Led by chief engineer Mitsuhiro Honda, the team wanted a Civic that felt futuristic. They went with long slant profile, sharp body lines, huge windshield, dashboard split into analog touch below, digital speed above. The goal? A Civic that feels like a spaceship but draws like a Honda. For Europe, it looked even wilder. The FN2 Civic hatch was a sci-fi jelly bean. This change introduced a new global platform with a more rigid body, electronic drive-by-wire structure, VTEC across the board. Digital instrument cluster, first time ever in Civic history. Also, Honda Hybrid Tech made its way into the Civic lineup big time. For North America and parts of Asia, the 9th generation Civic came in a few key flavors. The standard models ran the dependable 1.8-liter SOHC VTEC or 18A1 engine, smooth, efficient, and perfect for daily driving. Performance seekers could step up to the Civic Si, which packed a 2.0-liter DOHC VTEC K20Z3 under the hood. With a high revving character and crisp manual gearbox, it delivered the true Honda spirit. And for the ego-conscious crowd, Honda offered a Civic hybrid pairing a 1.3-liter IDSI engine with an electric motor, proving Honda was already thinking green before it was trendy. In Europe and Japan, the Civic lineup took a slightly different route. The base models featured the 1.8-liter VTEC, offering a solid balance of power and efficiency for everyday driving. For diesel lovers, Honda brought in the 2.2-liter ICTDI, a top 4 full efficient option that made long-distance cruising smooth and economical. But the real star was the Civic Tyre, powered by a 2.0-liter DOHC VTEC engine. This high-revving beast gave Euro drivers a taste of Honda's performance DNA, with sharp handling and a grounded tuned heads. Civic Tyre 2 flavors. FD2 Tyre Japan only. The FD2 Tyre was a Japan exclusive 4-door sedan that packed a serious punch. Under the hood was a reverse 2.0-liter K20A engine, delivering a fierce 222 horsepower at 8,000 RPM with an 8,500 RPM redline that kept the adrenaline pumping. It came equipped with a limited slip differential Brembo brakes for stopping power and a precise 6-speed manual gearbox. Despite being a sedan, the FD2 Tyre outperformed the CTO hatchback in every performance test, proving that sometimes 4 doors can be just a wild. F12 Tyre Europe, same engine but worse suspension, torsion beam rear, cool design but softer handling, still fun but not as sharp as FD2. People still argue FD2 or FN2, real Tyre vs cosplay Tyre. The Civic body style we have 4-door sedan, sporty and sharp, 2-door coupe popular in North America, 5-door hatchback, FN2 while styling for Europe, hybrid sedan, clean air, no boost, Mugen or Japan only, limited, extreme and expensive. This was where Civic went full tech. Digital dual-zone dashboard, optional navigation system, keyless entry, better sound installation, Bluetooth, AUX, USB, all standard by late models. Civic Hybrid with start-stop and CVT. Honda called this maximum, machine minimum. Translation: give you maximum space, technology, and simplicity. For tuner and street scene, K20Z3 and K20A still tunable monsters. The Civic Si FA5 was a weapon out of the box. FD2 Tyre legendary status in Japan. FN2 stylish but softer, still tunable. Or 18-inch 1.8-liter, not a tuner favorite but great for daily. Also, GDM bumpers on FD Civics, instant cloud upgrade. So yeah, this is Gen 8, where the Honda takes Civic to another planet. Whether you wanted style, tech or VTEC at 8,500 RPM, this generation delivers something weird and wonderful. Generation 9, 2011 to 2015. The Civic goes modern, Turbo's early Tease. So here's the deal, Honda took bold step with Gen 9. The Civic looked cleaner, more mature, but the real story, they started moving away from traditional high-rev VTEC engines. This was the Civic trying to be efficient, modern, and tech-forward with a hint of power. Released in 2011, the Gen 9 Civic featured more conservative styling, improved fuel economy, and a focus on safety. But here's the catch. For many markets, the naturally aspirated 1.8-liter or 18-inch engine replaced with the screaming B series and K series. This generation got a smoother, more mature look, less aggressive lines, larger cabin space, bigger trunk, more comfort focus. Honda's goal: make a Civic a solid, comfortable daily driver. Feature a 1.8-liter or 18 SOHC VTEC engine producing around 140 horsepower, known for its smooth power delivery and less frantic revving compared to earlier generations. For those wanting more punch, the SI model comes with a 2.4-liter K24 engine, putting out about 201 horsepower. It still had VTEC but with a more relaxed redline, less screaming, more steady power. While there was no turbocharger on the regular models yet, hints were already in the air that turbocharged Civics were coming in the future. MacPherson's front straps reminded torsion beam or multi-link rear suspension depending on trim, more airbags, stability control, and safety tech introduced, improve NVH noise vibration harshness for a quiet ride. The R18 was reliable but not exciting. Tuners stuck with SI's K24 or swapping in older B or K engines. Aftermarket for turbo swaps started growing. The turbo type was just beginning. While not a fan favorite among enthusiasts, Gen 9 sold well worldwide due to reliability, practicality, safety upgrades, fuel economy improvements. So Gen 9 was a Civic trying to catch its breath before the turbo storm hit. It's the calm before the turbocharged revolution. Generation 10, 2015 to 2021, turbocharged and unstoppable, the Civic's new era. This generation is the Civic that everyone set up and say, Wait, this thing's fast, efficient, and slick. Welcome to the era where Honda stopped relying on high-revving VTEC engines and embraced turbo power with open arms. Released in 2015, the Gen 10 Civic was a complete redesign, sharper lines, aggressive styling, and a bold new attitude. But the real star was under the hood, a 1.5-liter turbocharged direct injection engine that delivers both power and efficiency. Honda design team focused on aggressive aerodynamics and sharp details, sleek front grille and LED headlights, bold character lines, fastback coupe and particle sedan options, enhanced interior materials and tech upgrades. Mark a new era with a 1.5-liter turbocharged inline 4 L15B7. Delivering around 174 horsepower, though power varies slightly depending on the market. For fans of classic naturally aspirated engines, Honda kept a 2.0-liter naturally aspirated inline 4 option available, offering a familiar linear driving feel. But for the real beast was the Type R, packing a turbocharged 2.0-liter inline 4 K20C1 that unleashed a monstrous 306 horsepower, seriously quick and razor sharp on the track. Honda also introduced hybrid powertrains in some markets, blending efficiency with modern tech to keep up with the times. With adaptive dampers in sport trims, multi-ring rear suspension standard on most trims, Honda Sensing Safety Suite, collision mitigation, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, digital instrument cluster, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. The FK8 Tyre was a true beast on wheels. It packed a 2.0-liter turbocharged VTEC engine that pumped out a hefty 306 horsepower paired with a precise 6-speed manual transmission for full control. Its aggressive aerodynamic package generated massive downforce, keeping it glued to the track. The chassis was drag-ready from the factory, complemented by powerful Brembo brakes that could handle the heat of intense driving sessions. And those neighboring time-lapse, they shocked the entire automotive world, proving the FK8 was no joke, a true driver's weapon. This Civic body style offers in 4-door sedan, 2-door coupe, discontinued mid-cycle, 4-door hatchback in some markets, and Civic Type O hatchback sporting aggressive aero and performance beats. With turbo platform unlock a new world for tuners, easy to add bigger turbos, intercoolers and Soviet tunes, Type O became a legend for both street and track. Huge aftermarket support for everything from mild to wild bears. The Gen 10 Civic showed the world that you don't need big engine to make big noise. Turbocharged power, aggressive styling, and pitch park interest made the Civic a game changer. Generation 11, 2021 to present, the Civic that went next level. This is the Civic that feels like it came from the future, with sleek design, turbocharged power, and focus on efficiency and tech that makes other cars sweet. Honda's latest masterpiece built for the modern world. Released in 2021, the 11th Gen Civic took everything we love from Gen 10 and leveled it up. Lower, wider stance, cleaner, sharper design, larger cabin with premium materials, next-gen turbocharged engines, hybrid powertrains in more markets, advanced driver assistance. Chief designer Hideki Iwata led a team aiming for sleek, aerodynamic, and sophisticated look. The Civic now features smooth flowing lines, slim LED headlights, bold front grille, minimalist premium interiors and digital displays. Features an improved 1.5-liter turbocharged inline-4 L15C2 engine that balances better efficiency with about 180 horsepower. Some trims keep the classic feel with a 2.0-liter naturally aspirated inline-4, offering a non-turbo option for those who prefer simplicity. A brand new 2.0-liter hybrid powertrain joins the lineup, delivering more torque and even better fuel economy, perfect for modern drivers. And don't worry, manual transmissions are still available on sport trims, keeping the purists happy and engaged behind the wheel. Updated Honda Sensing 3.0 safety suite, better lane keeping, adaptive cruise, and more. Larger touchscreen infotainment with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, digital instrument cluster with customizable displays, wireless charging, premium audio options, better sound insulation for quiet rides. The Tyre is on the way or already out in some markets, promising a turbocharged 2.0-liter VTEC engine with even more power, refined suspension and aero, advanced chassis tuning for track and street. Brother, Civic has gone to the next level, from a simple compact car to a tech-filled turbocharged, hybrid-ready superstar. The journey continues and the Civic keeps growing. It's not just a car, it's a legend. From the very first Honda Civic rolling off the line to the latest turbocharged hybrid powerhouse, this car isn't just metal and wheels. It's a symbol of innovation, passion, and community. For every generation, the Civic has brought people together, from weekend racers, modders, and tuners, to families driving their daily rides, to strangers who share stories at car meets around the world. It's more than a car. It's a bond that crosses borders, languages, and cultures. In a world that sometimes feels divided, our love for cars reminds us of something simple and powerful. That we all connected by the thrill of the drive, the joy of creation, and the peace found behind the wheel. So whether you're pushing your Civic to the limit on the track or just cruising with friends on a quiet evening, remember, it's not just about horsepower or speed. It's about the people, the stories, the memories we build together. Let's keep this community alive, see our passion with kindness, and drive toward a future full of love, peace, and respect. Because at the end of the day, brother, the true power of any car lies in the hearts of those who drive it. Drive safe, drive happy, and see you on the road.